Tim Martin delivered a scathing assessment of those who run the European Union, branding its leaders as plutocrats. In Brussels, speaking to Bloomberg News, Mr. Martin revealed he was lobbying officials in the government to walk away from the talks with Michel Barnier amid threats of a trade war. The Brexiteer businessman complained that the Brussels organization had been given an unusually good press, despite its legacy of protectionism. GETTY, Bloomberg Wetherspoon boss Tim Martin railed against the EUThis follows today's welcome news that Mr. Martin's pub chain, Wetherspoons, had seen a surge in profits higher than anticipated. Wetherspoon has been a rare success story on the UK high street, according to Richard Hunter, head of markets at Interactive Investor. On Brexit, the outspoken pub chairman railed against the excesses of Brussels, saying, "I am lobbying for leaving without a deal unless it is on very, very good terms. The EU is a protectionist organisation. They charge large taxes and tariffs on the 93% rest of the world. Leaving without a deal mean income and standard of living will rise. The principal losers in a trade war would be the inhabitants of a small town in Sweden, where Kopparborg is produced, rather than the UK economy." To Martin, the EU has had an unusual good press around the world. It should be more democratic. We want something like the US Constitution which will protect us from plutocrats in Brussels. In a shareholder update released this morning, Mr. Martin also threatened to stop selling European Prosecco, champagne and Swedish cider in the event of a trade war once Britain leaves the European Union. He explained, if trade barriers were imposed so as to make Kopparborg uneconomic, then Wetherspoon could switch to UK suppliers or those from elsewhere in the world. In this case, the principal losers in a trade war would be the inhabitants of a small town in Sweden, where Kopparborg is produced, rather than the UK economy.